Welcome back. Now we're going to talk about why common sense is stopping you from flying, from soaring. It's very similar to the last topic that I just spoke about, which is about doing conventional, things that are logical, things that are conventional. Common sense really does keep us safe, and it's great, but it also keeps us playing really, really small. If you want to soar, if you want to fly, you really have to think about, you've got to go beyond your current thinking, beyond the current thinking of what makes sense, and move into this mindset or this thought process of what might happen if I tried something different. Think of an aeroplane. If you trusted common sense, you would have never left the ground, right? Because flying just seems impossible. All those years ago when the Wright brothers were, had this crazy idea to fly, everyone thought they were absolutely bonkers. But they tried and tried and tried and they kept going. And amazingly, guess what they did? They flew. Flying does seem impossible. So when they stepped into that unknown, that's when their lift actually happened. When they stepped into being creative with how they were thinking about how are we going to get this thing to fly? We know it could exist. What if it did exist? What if we could create it? Then that lift really happened. They had the energy behind them to really give different thought process into how could we? How might we? And that's what we call design thinking or creative thinking. How might we create lift? If and it's the same with your goals. Common sense will really, really keep you like kind of clinging to the ground, right? It'll keep you hugging the ground, staying low, staying what's safe. There's not much of a fall when you're hugging the ground, but your leap really is waiting for you up here. Common sense really equals limitations, it equals boundaries, and it equals staying realistic. Common sense, what based on most likely based on evidence from your past. What makes sense realistically? And you hear this all the time. We hear it in when people are saying, "Oh, the reality is," and I hear it in myself too. "Oh, the reality is," but it's not actually true. Quantum leaps often look irrational at first, and it's not until we have the benefit of hindsight and we're like, "Oh, yeah." So look at all the irrational decisions that you've ever made and look back on how much that irrational decision actually quantum leaped you, how it didn't just have you going step by step, it actually took like a whole, you skipped like a whole chapter, you skipped like a whole level. The people who leap really give themselves permission to go beyond what is reasonable. They stop thinking in probabilities and they start thinking in possibilities. So, my friend, playing it safe keeps you grounded. We must have courage to go after these big ideas, these big dreams, these big desires. We have to be able to think bigger because that is what is going to get you airborne. That is what is going to help you fly. If you are ready to stop playing it safe and you give your permission to really like spread your wings and fly, join me in Unpoured Potential. I've got a private podcast coming out. You can join that first if you're not ready quite to work with me. If you like what you see, please drop me a message down below or reach out to me on Instagram at lifecoach_Laurie. I'd love to hear from you.